Good evening, guys, and welcome to my kitchen in Sweden. I have a bit hard time to get some sari silk and these beautiful colorful pieces that you can use for putting in tags and other things you need to have ripped around. So I'm doing my own kind of strips with colors. I'm using a thin old curtain in white, and I'm going to color it in different colors that I want. I'm not so fond of heavy and sharp colors, so I'm going for soft blue, brown, pink and green. And I'm ripping this, as you can see now. I'm just taking my scissors, make a little mark, and then I rip in different sizes as I want them, so they are ready to be colored. Now I have ripped them in different sizes, so I can use them for several things. So now I'm just taking some coffee to make a base color on them. I want them wet when I put on the color and or at least moist. So I'm taking my leftover coffee and put in some water so it's not so dark in the color. I want just a basic kind of antique white on my strips. So I'm going to take my all of my white textile and put them in the coffee and just squeeze them so they have a light antique looking color. And I'm doing the same with all of them. You can see it, you don't need much coffee for all of these pieces, so don't take too much so they get too dark. I just want this color that when you dry them you will get this marks with dark coffee. Then I'm taking my brush of powder, and I have different colors, and I'm blending and playing and put them in a little bit of water. I'm going to use both a spritzer and the water as it is in the bowl. So first some water, and I'm starting with a greenish color, putting in some blue so I will get some turquoise. This is another powder color in a blue tone. I really don't know where I have got this, but it's some Swedish store. So use whatever you have, powders or acrylic paint, watercolor paint, as these things not are going to be washed. We don't need to have any color that is waterproof. When it's dry, it's waterproof anyway, so use what you have. Don't go and buy a lot of things, just use it. Then I'm going to put this in a spritzer. I want it in a spritzer because I want to have this blue color part of the textile, so I can play around with different colors. It's a little bad light here in the kitchen, but I will show you the result later with my light at my desk. Then I'm putting in my textile that is coffee dyed but still wet. I'm just taking it right off so they haven't dried anything, and then I just put on my blue color here and there, just splash them on where I think it's needed. I want the color to shift in different tones, so when I do like this, it will be kind of like it's dyed in different shapes. Changing color, so now we are going for another blue purpley color. So I think this is ultramarine, and then I'm going for some greenish to just tone the blue down a bit. I think this is leaf green. And also some light brown, I think I have put in this one. And doing the same this time, I'm just dipping everything. The coffee will dry in different ways anyway, so when you have the coffee as a base, you will get these dark stripes when it dries. And as you can see, the color is rather light, so if you want more heavy colors, you need to put in more color in the water. Another color again, and this time we are going pink. So this is crimson I put in now. And I want the pinkish to have a blue tone, so I'm putting a little bit of ultramarine in it. I don't like the pink that has a yellow tone, so I want it more blueberry pinkish. It won't get as dark as this looks. We'll see when I put in the textile that it's not this dark. Yummy blueberry tone. I don't use so much pink things, so I'm not doing so much of the pink. But you can save the water in different... look at my beautiful fingers. Not remembering to use gloves as always. What was I saying? You can save the colors in jars and use them when you color your paper later on or some other textiles. So don't throw it away. Use it again and again until it has been soaked up from your paper and textiles. Now I'm putting in a bit of brown, light brown, to tone it down even more. So now we are getting a pinkish tone that is very light and kind of brownish. Soft pink, I would say. Didn't like that color, so I actually throw that away. But most of the colors I save in small jars and reuse them. But that was a boring kind of pink, so I won't use them on paper. And one last color with more greenish tone. And this time we are going to do kind of a rainbowish color. We are going to base it with this, and then we are going to put the brush show right onto the textile so you can see the difference in darkness. If the textile is still a bit wet and you put on the brush show, you won't get this hard tones of spots. You still, if you put water on it, can get just heavier colors. So down with the textile again. And now you can see it a bit turquoise greenish, more green than blue. And I can promise you my fingers are like rainbows tomorrow. I'm happy that it's Easter and we have days off, so I don't need to go to work and show everyone my fingers. So I took another piece of the curtain that was not coffee dyed, and as I had it on my bench, I thought I could throw some color on that too. So now we're going to do the rainbowish tone where I put brush directly onto the textile. So I'm just squeezing out most of the water and then arrange it in the sink so we can just powder on the brush color. And this is fun. Now we're playing. I'm using up the blue I had in my spritzer first. And by doing this, you will get some white pieces on the textile too. So you can use whatever piece of the textile you can find fitting your projects. This will go in blue, green, pink and brown, I think. And as you can see, it's very concentrated where I put it, but it will get lighter later on. I wanted to try this and see if I can do it like this instead of solving it in water first. Now you can see when I spritz on the water that it's not so heavy as I thought. So I could have done it like this too. I just was afraid that it would be too dark and that the powder would leave spots here and there, but I think it was the water, as it was moist when I put it on, that made it rather soft anyway. Blue, and the other one was Sandstorm. It is a light red brownish tone. And then leaf green or sea green. I think I used both. And now I can see that this sandstorm color is a bit yellowish, and I don't like yellow. So I'm going to tone the yellow down with some brown, light brown. So it gets this more coffee brown tone. I got a little crazy here. I was afraid that it would be too yellow, so I took a lot of brown. But it helped. I'm not having anything yellow left. So when these are done, colored, I will put them just as they are right now. I won't flatten them out or anything. I leave them squeezed together like this. I will show you a picture later on. So that way the coffee will sip through and you will get this brownish stripes on it. And I want that for the kind of vintage look. If you put them in a dryer or hang them up, you will get another kind of coloring. The result will be another. I want this crackled, crumbled color. So here they are. So you can see I haven't straightened them. I have put them in different containers, and now I'm just spritzing some extra coffee on them. The coffee will make this beautiful vintage old looking stripes, so that's necessary if you want it a little toned down with brown in it. So if you want clear, heavy colors that are strong, you can skip the coffee. Then you will get them more vibrant. Then I'm leaving this overnight, and I'm going to show you the result when they have dried, and also how I will do them in the projects. You will see a few pictures after the recording when they have almost dried, and then I will come back later with a new recording, how they look when they are totally dried and how I can use them in my projects. So I hope this was helpful for you, and that you can use it to use up your old curtains if you don't have any sari silk to use. Thank you for watching, and see you soon again. Bye bye from Sweden.